Okay, getting ready to do an oil change on the Rabbit. It's a 1.8 JH solid lifter engine. Pretty straightforward. So first things are to get the tools out. I got the oil there. I've got these just these level up ramps that are usually used for RV, but are just really easy to get up. Not too high, but definitely high enough. And so first thing is to get the car up on the ramps. Okay, what I do is I get right up to the ramps. And I can line it up like this and just shove them on there. And then look out so when I get up really solidly and evenly on the top level. Okay, those oil spots are not from this car. That's from a car, I won't even talk about it because it's annoying. And I'm going to have to clean that up, and I will again show that in another video, the method I use for cleanup. I'm actually going to be reviewing a product that's a poultice type of product, and it's supposed to work well and be pretty easy to use. So you have the car up on the ramp. Of course, it is in gear with the parking brake securely up. But the next thing that's important on both wheels is to put down a wheel chock. So go ahead and slide this wheel chock in here. Okay, it's dark under here. Sorry about that, but there's a couple of shiny spots. You can see it there and there. That's right underneath the oil pan, which is actually quite close to the front on this car. So it takes a 19mm socket. And that's just right where this strip is here. I don't know if you can see that. I can't see from where I'm filming. So I'm going to loosen that up, start to drain the oil into this pan right there. And when I get that going, I will start on the filter. Okay, the oil is draining. Actually, it's almost done, but it helps continue the process. But I probably should have had this off already. I'm going to go ahead, oh it's hot. I'm going to take off the fill cap here and just set that aside. And that puts it aside on the ground. Not to fear, it's right there. So that will help the oil to continue draining out that, and in the meantime I'm going to work on loosening the filter, which is right there. I have a Bosch replacement. It is a little hot to hold, but I'm going to give it a try. And I'm going to put on some gloves. And the gloves, these are these nitrile gloves from Harbor Freight. They're cheap, but they work well if you have a clean surface because you get a little bit more friction and at least a little bit of insulation from heat or other things like that. Okay, here's the filter. Got the old one off. I had to rustle it off a bit, and I'll do another video on how to get off the filters, because that's a whole saga in itself. So I basically primed it, put some oil in here, and I'm putting my finger around, and I'm going to go ahead and moisten the rubber seal so that we get a good tight seal. And it's about half fill. I can go up from underneath, but it's easier to see from the top, so that's what I'm going to try. Okay, put about 4 quarts of 530 Mobil 1. So I like to use. I know it's a little light for an engine like this, but this car doesn't get driven that much, and I make sure I've got decent oil pressure. If I didn't have good oil pressure, I would definitely not use something that light. But here, and it's really mild weather, and so it works out fine, I think. So the next thing to do is it's basically reading between the the fill or the add and the full mark on the dipstick. I'm going to go ahead and start up the engine and back it off the ramps. This will do two things. It'll allow the oil to circulate, make sure that we're maxed out inside the filter, and also get it down to level as we back out. So starting the engine, using it to back off is a good way to kind of kill two birds with one stone and get that going. So the next thing is to back it off the ramp with the engine running, then shut it back off, and then double check the oil level and top it off.